Riptide, Edge 56. We're back. It's another Wednesday.
It's another Wednesday Night Live.
Live from the basement.
So good.
It is. We're trying to move out of the basement, but we'll see what happens.
We'll keep you updated on that.
Sometimes you just get stuck in the basement.
That's true.
But
It
we're
is a fun
glad.
time.
We're glad everyone's here.
Yep.
Live on Riptide.today and Edge56.today and YouTube, wherever you get your fine video. So thank you for joining us here. People should be coming in now. The countdown's over. Tim, what's on the plan for tonight?
Well, first things first, I'm going to tell you, our skit is going to get very strange, and it could get flipped upside down. You never know. You'll just have to wait and find out.
So if it does, just turn your laptop upside down or your phone,
Flip
and then
it
it'll
over.
be right side up again.
If you're on your phone, though, you got to make sure that your rotation lock is on. And then we also have a wonderful worship led by Encounter, our friends in Encounter again. So if you miss being in Encounter, well, guess what? We get to be, it's like we're in there again tonight.
Just turn all the lights off, and
There
then
you
it'll
go.
feel just like Encounter.
Exactly.
So, and then Tim, you're sharing with Riptide, and Edge 56 has lots planned in their Zoom room as well. And rumor has it, Edge 56ers, you may be dressed weird tonight, or strange hair. I'm not sure which, but hopefully you all find out when you get to your Zoom rooms later. But that's getting way ahead of us.
Very true. We should probably get to the skit.
I think so.
Let's do it.
Skit it up.
Wait. Hold on, I'm coming. What's up? Where's Bill?
Bill?
Where's Bill Wires? Oh no. Bill! All right, Bill, you're not in the car. Oh man, Bill! Guys, thanks for stopping. I was getting real tired there for a second. That was it's real tough.
It's all right. Have a Coke.
Oh, jeez, thanks.
It's the real thing.
Guys, Bill could be everywhere, like in the walls, everywhere. What? Now, Tim, I want you to think about that for a second. That doesn't make any sense. How could Bill Wires be everywhere? I think he's nowhere at all. I don't even understand anymore.
What if he's in the downside up?
Whoa.
Where's the rep? What is this? What's going on? Are we in the Ripside Down yet?
I don't know, but it's terrifying, Tim. I don't know what's happening.
No.
Where's Kimmy? Kimmy, what are you doing?
Is it Kimmy?
Kimmy!
Is it?
All right, listen up, Kimmy. We need to know where this downside up place or whatever is.
Especially
okay?
if we want to find Bill fast.
No more fooling around.
What he said.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Follow me.
Cool.
Oh, well, she actually knows where it is.
Let's go.
Really impressive. Let's go. Wait, whoa. No. No.
What
My eyes aren't adjusting. Are you kidding me? What is going on?
We're almost
We better
there.
find Bill quick. We better
I
find.
can't
We're almost there, okay? Just pull it together.
I can't see it. I can't. Okay.
Oh my God.
It's,
Bill.
I think it's gonna be okay. Be careful where you step. Calm down. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. I'm right here. Careful. It's okay. I'm right here. Don't worry about it. We could use some help from Matt Murdock. This place is really quiet, actually. Can't see a thing. It's not that scary, dude. Calm down. No! Come out so we can leave! What's that?
Bill?
Bill? Hey.
Bill?
Hey, buddy.
Bill?
Bill?
It's us.
Bill?
Buddy.
Tim, not so loud.
Oh my. Oh my.
What?
Guys.
What?
Guys. It is Bill! Look at him!
Yeah! Woo! Bill!
Hey guys, it's me, Bill Wires.
Woo!
Hey Journey, welcome to worship. Go ahead and get in a place that's comfortable and let God speak to you. When it doesn't go my way, I know that it's not the end. I'm trusting in a better place. I haven't dreamt of it. It's that you are for me when everything's against me. I put all my hope in you, Jesus. I will trust in you. I will trust in you. I know you never fail. I will trust in you, Jesus. I will, God, Jesus. I will. Don't know how the story ends, but I know that you finished it. I close my eyes and just let go. I fell into my only hope. It's empty and falling when I surrender fully. I put all my hope in you, Jesus. I will trust in you. I will trust in you. I know you never fail. I will trust in you, Jesus. I will trust in you. I will trust in you. I know you never fail. I will trust in you, Jesus. I will. I will, God. Jesus, I will, God. The only thing I know is God, you're in control. Every little detail, you are close. Never be alone. Bearing me, I know. The power of your presence fills my soul. Now everything I know is God, you're in control. Every little detail. I will trust you. I will trust you. I know you never fail. I will trust you. Jesus, I will. Jesus, I will. Father, in the midst of all this like chaos and struggle, we know that you're with us. We know that you are going to defend us.
All right, it's Zoom time for Edge 56. Head off to your rooms, guys. Enjoy your crazy hair. I wish we could all see you, but hopefully Jenny will get some pictures and post later. Riptide, stick around on the stream. And if you could go to riptide.today and in the comments section, post your favorite song. And if you have a YouTube link, go ahead and put that in the comment so we can see the songs. A few days ago, we did that for worship songs, and it was great. I really enjoyed watching everyone's favorite worship songs. There's Tim typing away in the background back there.
You're going to see my favorite song on there.
So, yeah, go ahead and post them in the comments on riptide.today, and we're going to see what some of the songs are. Tim's going to host his in a moment, and we can
Chris, I just
get
gotta
ready
say,
to mock him.
You're going to really appreciate mine.
Oh, good. I can't wait. We should have done, like, favorite soundtrack. That's next week. Think about your favorite soundtrack. Guess what soundtrack I listened to today, Tim? You'll never
What?
guess. Flash Gordon from, like, the early 80s that Queen did the soundtrack for. It's amazing.
Another movie I still need to see.
Oh, my gosh. It's being re-released in 4K this week, so...
Really?
Yes. All right. Tim, did you post your favorite song?
I
haven't
did.
See it yet.
One of my favorite songs is The Touch by Stan Bush from the Transformers, the movie.
Wow.
I'm all about that song.
That is
If you're ever
phenomenal.
feeling down and you're just like, man, I need some motivation, this song right here.
And now we can all find it at riptide.today. Tim posted it. Anyone else have a favorite? Anything in the YouTube comments, Tim, that
YouTube
people have
comments.
listed? Ooh, highs and lows from Bryce. Thank you, Bryce. That's a good one. We'll have to find a YouTube link to accompany that. A favorite song. That is so tough to pick just one favorite song.
It's true.
But I think we've probably given Edge 56 enough time to get to their little Zoom rooms.
I would agree.
We have another special treat teaching-wise today. It's you, Tim.
Oh, wow.
Wow, 2 places at one time.
2 places at one time.
Amazing. So we're going to cut over to Tim to his message, and then we'll be back to wrap things up and send everyone to the Zoom rooms. So, Tim, why don't you take it away?
Let's take it away.
Hey Riptide, great to see you on another Wednesday Night Live. We're going to continue our Upside Down series, and tonight we're going to learn about when Jesus washed the feet of the disciples and this bizarre thing that the disciples had happened to them. This question that they were like, what is going on? Why are you doing this? Now, something comes to my mind that it can be bizarre sometimes. I don't know about you, but when I think of grandmas, I think of the memes that people make when it's like, if you're hungry, go to grandma's house because grandma's just going to keep on feeding you. And I would definitely agree. Whenever I would go to my grandma's house, if I were hungry, she would bring all the snacks. It was wonderful. However, nowadays, my grandma, instead of feeding us, granted we don't go to their house all the time, but my grandma at night lays out a bowl and puts cat food in it. And then she goes back inside and then watches as raccoons, possums, and skunks come up and eat the cat food out of the bowl. Yeah, at first, when we heard that she was doing this, we were all just like, oh, wow, that's great. That's also kind of weird, too. You're feeding all of them. And then there were a couple times that we were hanging out at their house, and we actually saw it happen. And you'd see, like, the raccoon and the skunk, like, fighting over it. There would be, like, 2 possums that were fighting over the bowl against another possum. But it was just something that was so bizarre. They were just like, okay, nice. You're feeding the raccoons, possums, and also skunks. If it smells bad, we're not coming over. But it was just something that was just like, when it came to my mind, I was just like, that's really, really bizarre. And that's just what came to the disciples' mind. When they experienced this with Jesus, they're like, this is really bizarre, as were most encounters that they had. Now, we're going to go ahead, grab your Bible. We're going to open up to John 13, okay? So at this point, Jesus is having his last Passover meal with his disciples, and he knows what's about to happen. He knows that Judas is going to betray him, and he knows that he's going to be arrested and then going to be killed on the cross. And so we're going to start in verse 3. It says, Jesus knew that the Father had put all things under his power, and that he had come from God and was returning to God. So he got up from the meal, took off his outer clothing, and wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that was wrapped around him. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, Lord, are you going to wash my feet? Jesus replied, you don't realize this now, but what I am doing, later you're going to understand. No, said Peter, you shall never wash my feet. Jesus answered, unless I wash you, you have no part with me. Then Lord, not just my feet, but my hands and my head as well. Jesus answered, those who have had a bath need only to wash their feet. Their whole body is clean, and you are clean, though not every one of you. For he knew who was going to betray him, and that was why he said not everyone was clean. When he had finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes and returned to his place. Do you understand what I have done for you? He asked them. You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, for that is what I am. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you. Very truly I tell you, no servant is greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. Now that you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them. Wow. So Jesus is at dinner, okay, the Passover dinner with his disciples. Now, normally, when they would have a meal, they wouldn't sit at a table like we do. We pull out a chair, sit down, we have a table. Their table was more on the ground, and what they would do is as they would enter the house, they would have their feet washed, because as they're wearing their sandals, they're getting all the dust kicked up on their feet. And then when they would eat, they would sit on the ground and kind of recline on each other. And so they're really close to each other's feet. So I don't know about you, but if I had to eat dinner that way, I'd be like, listen, hey, you need to wash your feet because I don't want to be anywhere near those same feet. And that's exactly why they did that. They washed their feet so that way they wouldn't have to have this stench of feet every time they entered a house. And typically, that job was done by a servant, which is why the disciples were so, this is bizarre. Why is Jesus the Messiah, of all people, washing my feet. That shouldn't happen. Just like Peter said, no, you shouldn't wash my feet. But what Jesus was displaying to them, he said, you don't understand what I'm doing right now, but later on you will. And exactly that, he was showing us how to be a servant. He was showing us that he came not just to conquer, but also to be a servant, to live for us and to die for us and to serve us, to wash our feet. And then he says, I've set an example for you, so you should do the same. So what do we learn from this? Well, we learn that Jesus came to set an example for us, to be servants towards one another. And we also learned that wherever we go, whenever they would go to a place to eat, they would need to wash their feet. It was a consistent thing. Well, similar to that, we also need to go to Jesus and have him wash our feet, to have him cleanse us. That way we can continue and have this amazing life, this amazing relationship with him. So as we're going to our Zoom rooms, I want you to think about this. Think about, how can I be a servant to those around me? How can I follow Jesus' example of serving those around me? What does that look like? And how can I be a part of this cleansing? How can I ask Jesus to wash my feet, and how can I also do that for others? Maybe that might be something simple as going to Jesus and saying, listen, I have all this on my mind and my heart, and it's keeping me from being able to experience this love and life with you. Or maybe there's something that you're experiencing from someone else, and you need to forgive them. Whatever it is you're going through, whatever it is that you need Jesus to wash your feet, I encourage you to wrestle with those questions of how can we do that, and learn to be a servant to others around us too. All right, see you in Zoom.
Are heading back to our Zoom rooms now. You can find the links on riptide.today. But before we go, you're probably already gone.
Oh, you already got that.
I wanted to just call out some of the favorite songs here. Benny, good call on your Bon Jovi pick. Super fun. Owen, I love that song too. Burn the Ships. A great one. Go load your comments. Drop your video in there. I want to see them. I love catching up, seeing what you guys like. So awesome. All right, Zoom room time. Thank you for joining us on the live stream. We'll see you in Zoom land. Tim, do you have anything else to say?
Go into Zoom. I got it open right now.
Bye everyone. Zoom.